at ChuilafLlooring.com. Call 509-935-8021 or via email at ChuilafLlooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
There we go.
Mix Master Chuck over here.
Oh my gosh.
Right? As Craig so eloquently pointed out, that's like a little yacht rock to start us off in the morning.
It's Friday. Oh my goodness, the allergy.
I told you I was out of coffee this morning.
I know.
Mute all your devices, people.
What was that?
Muting devices.
Oh, muting
here.
devices.
Oh, yes.
Mute your phone, everybody. You out there listening to Mute Your Phone, listen to the KCHW Morning Show, which we are now live with myself, Chuck Ritchie, Paula Randall, Craig McQuain.
Yes.
And we have a very special guest on this morning for the second half of the show. Wonderful musician, Joey Carper, is going to be joining us. Did I say the last name right?
Yep, Carper.
Okay,
Yep.
that's what I thought.
Nice.
Well, good morning, folks. How you doing?
Good morning. I am excellent because I have coffee.
Yeah, I do.
I have the ultimate coffee.
I do too. And it was kind of a panic this morning. I started getting up to make my coffee. Teenager in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Out of coffee.
Yeah, that's
Absolute
awful.
chaos. Cats and dogs living together.
Complete chaos.
Complete. Just
Yes.
utter chaos.
I
But
can't
we're
remember
here.
the rest of that line though, but I got it.
We're
I got the
doing it.
reference.
I know.
Okay.
I think some of that stuff that he says after that is not radio appropriate.
Oh, good. So it's good that I edited. Oh,
yeah,
good.
probably.
Okay.
But I don't know.
It's a beautiful day.
It is a gorgeous day out today. It's going to be a great one for the farmers market later on today.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Can I do the
good
weather?
stuff.
Can I?
Yeah,
can
do
I?
the weather.
Okay,
hey,
'cause I'm really
wait, hold
excited.
on.
Okay.
Hey, Paula,
Yeah.
can you do the weather?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's going to be a beautiful day today, perfect for the opening a day of the farmers market. It's going to be a high of 77 with some clouds covering the sun up just a little bit, a low of 48 tonight. Tomorrow is going to be a high of 77 with a low of 49 and cloudy. Sunday, we're going to really cool things off with a high of 59 and a low of 43. Cloudy skies and 24% chance of rain.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
I've been kind of this. It's been really warm this spring,
Yeah.
and it's kind of nice to bring it back down.
Yeah.
Calm down weather. We're
Right?
still in early spring.
Get water. This would actually be perfect. Let the rain come and water your ground, and then go plant.
Yep.
On Monday, we have thunderstorms. We have a high of 58, a low of 42, and scattered thunderstorms throughout the region. On Tuesday, the 13th, we have a high of 64, a low of 43, AM showers, and then it should clear up. Wednesday, the 14th, we have a high of 70, a low of 43, partially cloudy skies, and only a 21% chance of rain. On Thursday, a high of 68, a low of 46, partially cloudy. On Friday, a high of 65, a low of 44, mostly cloudy with the introduction of a possibility of rain. And then Saturday, the 17th, we have a high of 66, a low of 44, partially cloudy skies, and a 24% chance of rain. Sunday also a high of 69, a low of 42, mostly cloudy, and 24% chance of rain. So this looks like it's going to be a nice blend of sunny skies and then a little bit of rain, and then the sun will come out again.
The sun will come out.
Tomorrow.
Exactly.
Gotta hold
Doesn't that sound
on to
amazing?
Tomorrow. It's like we scripted that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, just the weather. Just like,
Right?
I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it could just stay like this all summer, a little, in the
Right?
70s and sunny, and then a little bit of rain the next day. I was a little disappointed. I looked up and I saw those thunderstorms, and for a second, I thought we were going to be able to say Thunday,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's Monday.
But it's
Sunday,
Monday.
Sunday.
I guess it could be
Right?
Sunday Thunday. Yeah.
Sunday, Sunday.
No, but it
That
looks
was
like the
that was a
perfect
bad pun.
planting day would be probably Thursday, right? The 15th. Oh, Sharon says Thursday the 15th is a traditional date that the frost will not be here.
If Sharon says it,
Sharon said it.
Sharon says it's
And
true.
look at that. Perfect day. 68 degrees as a high, low of 46. partially cloudy skies right after some rain and right before some rain. Oh, she's good.
Well, Sharon is right.
She's good. Yeah.
And we do. Scott's told me for years since
Yeah.
even when I first started on the morning show about the Sharon rule.
The Sharon rule.
And we don't say anything on the air that we wouldn't say to Sharon's face.
Yeah.
So
Ooh, that's good.
that is the filter.
good
Yeah.
rule.
That is the filter. And sometimes we go a little over that. We're still radio appropriate. That gives us a little bit of leeway.
I was gonna say, she's got a great sense of humor. So
she does.
Yeah.
She does. It is kind of fun to make her blush sometimes, but not too much. Not too much.
Oh my goodness. Sharon, I don't know.
I
Yes.
do know Sharon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was like a little brain fragment there. Okay, we have a lot to get through today. So breakfast at the school. Of course, Fridays are the omelet and hash browns, the variety cereal with a cheese stick or yogurt, bread or muffin, cheese stick or yogurt, and of course, chef's choice. So you can also have milk with those and fruit or juice. And then for lunch, it's pizza. I mean, that's boring. Guys, you need to mix it up for me. Okay.
They
do
used
mix
to have
it
the
up.
pizza
Friday's
rippers in there at least,
I know. Now it's just pizza. I mean, they're not even getting creative. It's pizza, salad, fruit, and veggies with milk. Okay, then.
Ah, those pizza rippers, they're the worst.
They're like, school's almost out. Be happy we're feeding you at all. You're getting pizza on Friday.
Right? So speaking of the school lunch menus and the schools in general, I have an announcement to make that I'm kind of excited about. I'm kind of
yes.
happy about. Starting April 22nd, we're going to have a new
April 22nd?
starting May 22nd. Thank you.
I was
See?
like going, what?
Like, wait a minute.
I was testing you, and you passed.
what month
So
are
good
we
job. No, starting May 22nd, we're going to have a new Thursday morning co-host in here with myself, and we are going to focus Thursdays on our kids and our
Yay.
schools in the area. And I just had a great meeting yesterday with the principal of the high school and elementary school, or it's the high school and middle school.
Nice.
Jenkins High School, and he's very interested. I've spoken with Jason Perrins, the school superintendent. The school's on board. I need to get together with the Colville schools and see if they want to send some folks out too.
And homeschoolers.
And talk about
Saying.
all the things happening within the schools, school programs.
Yes.
We're going to get folks in to talk about their nutrition programs, the extracurricular activities, the coaches, the FFA, the welders. I really want to hear about the welding program. And our co-host for this, and Craig, I don't know, pretend I've never told you because I don't know if I told you this yet.
Okay.
So
been
if you
telling
think
me.
of,
Yeah.
of anyone in Chewelah synonymous with kids and kids in art and doing programs with kids, what name comes to your mind?
Let me think. There's a couple, but Gina
think
maybe.
Think of the Friday Market. Gina Greenwood is going to be our new Thursday morning co-host starting
Oh my
May
goodness.
22nd.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Right?
Yeah, I'm very,
I'm
very
excited.
about that.
Me too.
Gina's very excited about that.
Good job, Craig.
And I believe when I asked her if she was willing to do that, after I kind of fleshed out the idea a little bit, she was like, Chuck, yes, it's about time you asked.
yes.
Right. Yeah. She's like, yes, Chuck.
Right?
So, is that going all summer too? Or are you planning on
Yeah,
doing
we're
that?
going to do that
Okay.
all summer, and she's got lots of great stuff going on with the kids in the farmers market through the Colonel program, which we talked about on Wednesday. And she'll be, days we're not going to have people here with the schools. We're going to bring people in with the, local programs around town.
Okay.
Youth programs, that kind of stuff. So we're
Yeah, and
gonna,
I think there was just one Thursday that I had Terrell
Yeah.
Cripps
Yeah.
coming in, but
Yeah.
that's in July. We'll talk about that later.
and
but
we're still going to do like the first. We now have a standing appointment the first Thursday after the
After the chamber meeting.
the first council meeting.
Council meeting.
We're going to have a couple representatives from the city council in here to talk about what happened in the meeting and give people a chance to ask questions. We'll still be doing that, but then the rest of the month will be dedicated to
Right.
these schools. So
When do I get to send my teenager to you? You see the blank?
whenever.
Blink, right?
Like,
Right? You have
For-
some internships at the radio stations.
yes.
They can learn how to
Yeah.
do radio stuff.
We're working on a program, and
Yeah.
hopefully later this month we're going to hear about a grant we've applied for. Fingers crossed to get us some new
Nice.
equipment.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we can actually start working on some kids programs.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be really, really
Yeah.
cool.
So let's go ahead. We gotta
A lot of stuff.
get through stuff so we can do this.
I got a lot of fun
Spotlight.
stuff happening.
Yeah. Okay, so quickly, we have the Chamber of Commerce meeting happening right now with the Mistaqua Casino. That's from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. You still have, half of the meeting. You can get out there and enjoy what they're saying. So go on out to Mistaqua and take a look. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is pickleball, and that starts at 8:30 and ends at 11:30. That's over at the Rusty Putter courts out there.
Yeah, it's at the golf. Yeah, at 243 Park Place.
Perfect.
I don't know why I have that memorized, but I do.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We, of course, have the Churila award-winning farmers market.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm making my own special effects. It's like I'm not on a radio. Opening day of the farmers market. It starts at 11 a.m., goes till 3:30. There will be 52 vendors, Ryan said.
That's incredible.
I am so excited. And I talked to my family. I actually pulled Xander away from his whatever he was doing and brought Daniel to the table. And I'm like, okay, guys, we have to plan out our farmers market day. It will start with somebody getting me a sourdough, a donut. And then we have to go to the microgreens lady, and we have to go see who else is new, and what do we want for lunch? I mean, we were like, okay. So definitely, go ahead.
My farmer's market plan is yes.
Yes, right? Well, because we're going to be setting up the booth. I'll be in the booth, and so that's why I had to make sure my family was motivated.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because, oh, man, 3-4 months without those sourdough donuts is just...
If it's anything like my family, we need a list.
Yeah.
We need coordination and
got to get it like a military operation. We got to get it down.
And thank goodness for my wife.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would be living in chaos.
Absolute chaos.
Yeah.
Cats and dogs. We mentioned this earlier.
Right.
All right. So also happening today is bingo over at the senior center from 1 to 3. And we have it ending with the opening night of Church Basement Ladies.
Yes.
I got to see it last night, you guys. It's a lot of fun music. They have an incredible set, directed by, of course, Debbie McConnell. And she was here a couple of times, where we were talking about those Church Basement Ladies from Minnesota.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you have a couple of minutes, you should go over there. The show starts at 7 p.m. promptly. It'll be going on tomorrow as well, 7 p.m. promptly.
I think you need more than just a few minutes. You might want to stay for the whole thing.
You might want to stay.
Yeah.
That's true. Very, very good. That's very good. And then, on Sunday, it has a matinee that goes at 2 p.m. So this weekend and next weekend, Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday, a matinee at 2 p.m., the 11th and the 18th. So go check that out.
Yes.
All right,
Check
All
it
right.
out.
And you know what else? So there's another thing on the calendar for tomorrow.
What's that?
But before that, I want to tease that the tickets for Shwila's Got Talent will be also available at the box office
Yes.
for Church Basement Ladies. So we'll have a little envelope there, and you'll also be able to get your tickets to Shwila's Got Talent, not to co-op their show, but
I was gonna say.
they'll be there. They'll be there.
Yes, so you can get your tickets for Church Basement Ladies and Shwila's Got Talent.
Which we have auditions for tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yes.
We got quite a few people auditioning
That's
tomorrow.
what you were saying.
And then, but we still have a few empty slots in the calendar and the schedule for tomorrow. And we're also taking walk-ins. We'll have those forms available for you if you just want to come in and didn't get a chance to fill that out online or in person before. You can come on in. We'll have that application for you. The final show, May 24th. So you make sure you're available May 24th. We also have a rehearsal the evening before on the 23rd at 6 p.m. So you need to make sure your calendar's clear for that. And come on in and show us what you got.
Right.
So very
and
excited.
I've noticed that the papers on the door, people have been going through that, getting the forms. So that's really exciting. And then also happening tomorrow, we have auditions for Shakespeare. Wow. Yes. So The Tempest. Now, you guys, I'm telling you, this show has something for everybody. If you have never done any acting before, but you've always wanted to try it, this is the play for you. There are parts that are very, very small. There are parts that are kind of medium. And then, of course, there are the lead parts. We've had a lot of great people come out, but I would love to have more people come out tomorrow on Saturday from 11 to 1 over at the theater. You don't have to have anything prepared. You just have to show up at the theater with a lot of enthusiasm or, moderate interest. I'll take moderate interest. And I'll give you a script to read, and it's going to be a blast.
It is.
If you're not familiar with The Tempest, it's a wonderful show. It's got drama. It's got Shakespearean insults. It's got people working on a boat. It's got a wizard. It's got elemental magic. It's got love. True love. It's got
Matrimony.
I know. Everything you would want in a play, this show has it, and it's not long. It's only about an hour long. So
There
it's
you
a
go.
great opportunity to get to know stuff about Shakespeare. It's a great opportunity to work with your community. It's a great opportunity to have a lot of fun. We're setting it during the modern era, so we're not going to be wearing pantaloons or uncomfortable clothes. We're
That's it.
going to
I'm
be doing
out. I
this
want to
in
wear my
jeans.
pantaloons.
Right? Okay. Well, you can wear pantaloons if you want.
I mean,
'cause,
you
know.
buy them and then you only have occasional use for them. I look for excuses to wear my pantaloons
Right?
whenever I can.
And then the other thing I wanted to make sure I share as well is because I'm setting this off the coast of Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
we don't have to be speaking in any kind of specific accent at all. You can just speak normally. You can just
There
be
you go.
very, very,
Bring your
So-
Canadian accent.
eh?
Heck yeah.
Or BC, that would be the BC Canadian accent. But yes, so come on out. Shakespeare on Saturday from 11 to 1. I'd love to see you there. If you can't make that, please email me. You can contact the that place where we're going to be, the Center for the Arts, and send an email to Sharon, and she will get it to me. I will work with you if you can't make tomorrow.
And bug spray will be available, but you might want to bring your own.
Well, we're going to be inside. I just don't want to deal with it.
Okay.
But yeah, so yes. And then also tomorrow on Saturday, Finding Common Ground Community Social up in Colville at the Yep Canham Park. That's from 12 to 2. Join them for a community picnic May 10th, noon to 2. Bring a side dish to share and your own utensils and share. They're providing burgers and dogs. They're going to share insights in how to
That
talk
was poetry
with neighbors.
right there.
What?
That was poetry right there.
It was.
Yeah.
Provide burgers and dogs?
No, what was it? Was it?
Oh, it
Bring
is.
a side dish to share and bring your
Bring your
chair.
chair, yeah.
We're serving hot dogs and
Right?
whatever. Now I see I lost it.
Now
I
you lost it, but thank you.
I was gonna go Susie in there and then I messed up.
But yes, it's really going to be a very meaningful event. Finding Common Ground Coalition, a group of organizers and individuals, believe that all of us are more aligned than divided. And I agree. We are a community in all of our wonderful flavors. And, we need to remember that we are a community and that we are all in this together. And, we need to look out for each other like this community always has,
Yep.
So go and check out, if you want, Finding Common Ground Community Social on Saturday from 12 to 2.
I say it like a broken record. We're on a infinitesimal speck of dust hurling through space at 67,000 miles an hour.
Right?
We're on the same boat, like it or not.
And that song is going through my head now.
So spherical.
Yeah.
Right?
On Sunday, we have the All Ages Community Blues Jam. That starts at Fired Up Pizza from 4 to 7 p.m. And that's a lot of fun. Go check that out. We have, highlights.
I like how you edited that. You knew that wasn't right.
Right?
What did she edit? I didn't even catch
Oh,
it.
it's just the
time.
time. It said it went till 8, and she's like, "That's not right. It's
What's-
still 7."
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I say from 4 to 8.
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
no.
even know.
It's all right.
It's okay.
Sometimes people get jam a little late sometimes.
See, there you go.
Right?
They like to be closed down by 8 on Sunday, though, I think.
Gotcha.
All right, so the vendor registration deadline is on the 17th for the Chamber of Commerce's new Business Expo that's going to be held on May 31st.
Yes.
So if you're interested in participating in that, please do go and fill out the vendor registration. And that is at the Chamber. You can go to chewelah.org/business-expo to fill that out. Note that the Big Business Expo is exclusive to Chamber members. If you're not a member, please join.
The Big
large
Business Expo.
Big Business Expo.
I love it.
She's a base.
Yes, she is.
I also want to highlight we have our, making sure I'm not missing anything, we have Cabin Fever Quilt Guild's 23rd Annual Chewelah Quilt Show on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, also on the 24th, Chewelah's Got Talent.
This is true. So you know what I love, and I like the timing of this because I love the quilt show. I mean,
Right.
I could see your eyes light up
They
when
did
you
light
heard
up. They
quilt.
were actual sparks.
I'm a
Yeah.
nerd. I'm a nerd for quilts, the artistry, and the quilt shows. It's not your grandma's quilt. I mean, these things are sculptures. They're absolute works of art.
Yeah.
And I do, I love sleeping under a quilt.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time to go to the quilt show, get a break, go get something to eat, relax, and then come back for Chuli's Got Talent. So
Well,
There you go.
plenty of time.
and what I didn't
Make a full
realize
day of it.
is that it's going on Friday and Saturday. So on Friday you can go from 1 to 6, and then on Saturday you go from 10 to 4.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be over at Jenkins High School. And yeah, it's truly art. I mean, it's just amazing. We have so many talented people in this area. It's humbling.
We did lose one of our best quilters last
I
year,
know,
but she moved to
Indigo.
Alaska.
Yes, Indigo.
All right. So are we ready to move on to Craig? Do you have any more highlights you want to do there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not for me.
Well, I
That
do
looks
have an assignment for Paula while
Yeah.
she's
Ooh.
over here because she's really good at looking stuff up. I want her to deep dive into this event right here, and we'll talk about it in a second. I'm going to bring it up on my computer here, and then we'll talk about that in a little bit. It's actually down in Moscow, Idaho, the week after our Summerfest, so I thought it'd be something cool to talk about. A really cool poster. So anyway, we'll get right back to that so we're not leaving you in the dark. But yeah, this is the Northern Lights Spotlight. A group that we put together on Facebook for promoters and musicians and artists to promote their upcoming events and happenings around our area and abroad. So starting
What
off
did
this
you call me?
Really,
Hey,
You're punchy today.
yeah, I was talking.
I was at a hardware store in Spokane last night, and I was walking to the bathroom in the back, and someone was looking for wing nuts, right? Some random guy,
I'm right here.
right? And I was walking by him, and I was like, "What'd you call me?" And laughed, and the dude thought I was serious, and
Oh,
the dude got like
no.
offended, and I'm like, "I was just joking, wing nut," and he didn't get it, and he's like, "Why are you talking to me?"
It's like when
okay,
you walk
I'm
away,
just-
you're like, okay.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
it's
go
like
to
you're
the
hitting a
bathroom
brick wall. It's
Right.
like I try to lighten people's moods up, and it's like you can tell when it's just like, yeah, I met the wrong audience with that
now.
one.
You have a nice day, sir.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Sorry. Go ahead.
All right, so Friday tonight, May 9th, Zach Pass, myself, and Lefty Fields are going to be playing at Jackson Street. That's on 2436 North Astor in Spokane. On Saturday, we're going to move the whole carnival down to Zola for a 5:30 show. We're going to be doing the happy hour show there at Zola. Then Sunday, we're going to get on the train and go down to Coeur d'Alene, and we're going to set up at a place called Lakers Inn, which is a smoking establishment. So bring your respirators and your oxygen tank.
It's
Um,
like
Like, you can actually smoke cigarettes indoors there.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know. So if I come back and I'm all like, hey, you guys, like...
You're like, you were there, yeah.
yeah,
I'm
you can
so
know what.
not used to that because I lived in Alaska. Alaska was one of the first places to ban smoking indoors. So I have been around indoor ban smoking
Right.
since the
I mean,
late
it's like,
90s.
it's going back in time.
Yeah. Oh, so I
No,
think
thank you.
indoor smoking establishments.
So anyway, I know Paula and Chuck aren't going, but if you're out there and you like to smoke a smizzle on the indoor hizzle and listen to some jizzles on the jams. Anyway, I'm using my my street
reaching
terms.
there,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was really reaching. Got to be careful because I might say something that is inappropriate. So,
I think you may have just done.
no. Jingles? What? No. Okay, so Burning Cow Barterfest is coming up. Next week, we're going to have Rachel Bergman here on the
Yes.
show. She's going to talk about all the great acts she's bringing to just south of Springdale on Cemetery Road. It's actually on Tombstone Way, I believe. But Jacob Van Noe wants to let everybody know that he's going to be playing there on May 24th at 1 p.m. So that's the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend.
Very cool.
This is an exciting one that I'm involved with here. The Lost Falls Collaborative is pleased to announce
Yes.
the 2025 P&W Filmmaker Showcase. This is a free event held at the Auto View Drive-In Theater in Colville. The event is the 22nd of May and will open with a performance by myself, Craig McQuain Music. The gate opens at 7:30 p.m. The music begins at 8 p.m. The movie will start at dusk, featuring numerous regional filmmakers. The showcase includes films from K.S. Brooks, Logan Cannon, Chimney Chew, Rebecca Cook, Ron Ford, Dave Cotlin, Jimmy Mazlox, Karina Pettigrew, Deja Prescott, Misty Shipman, and Peyton Wyatt. Festival founder Joseph Wolshinsky.
Wilzinski.
Wil-
Joe
Wolz-
Wilzinski.
Wolzinski.
Yeah.
Our friend Joe,
It's our
Yeah.
friend Joe.
who currently resides in Belize, and a local crew are putting together a film he hopes to have finished by the festival. The film will be showcased in Colville and Belize on the same night. The snack bar will open during the event. Make sure that your vehicle has a radio. Join us for this annual event celebrating our region's filmmakers, sponsored by the Vincent Fund and Run Rabbit Run Productions.
So, we have Joe and Kat will be on the show with us on the 15th.
Nice.
Talking about that, we got Joe zooming in from Belize. He's going to join us and Scott on the morning show on Thursday, next
And
Thursday.
Kat.
Yeah, yes, Joe,
Nice.
Kat, Scott, talk about the film festival. And
Nice.
that one, sadly, as I announced earlier, the 22nd will be the first week with Gina joining us. That's not the sad part. The sad part is that's going to be Scott's last Thursday morning show as a regular Thursday morning show co-host.
Oh, wow.
He's busy with his business over there in Maine and gonna
You know,
gonna
that's
do that?
so weird. It's like I knew that intellectually. I knew that because we're all excited about the new Thursday lineup.
yeah.
But the fact that Scott is not going to be on Thursday, it just now hit me. It's like,
Yeah.
oh.
But we'll make sure we get him on often to join us.
Yeah,
and,
we have to have him zoom
okay,
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Emery Entertainment presents Jacob Van No Music, Zach Pass, Dave Emery and the Boys, Athemix, and much more. Come rock out with us Saturday, May 24th at the El Patio Bar at State Line. And that's at 6902 West Celtice Way, Post Falls, Idaho. Show starts at, it's hard to see it,
Yeah, it is.
at 6 p.m. No cover, 21 and over with ID.
And we had Zach on the show a few weeks ago, and what just a wonderful human being that guy is. Love that guy.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's lucky that he is such a nice person, because like if he wasn't, man, you might be like a force to be reckoned with, because I mean he is a mountain of a man.
He is.
Yeah, he's got a huge
very-
personality.
You know what he'd be really good in?
What's that?
The Tempest.
He looks like he could be a pirate, right?
Right?
A Viking
I'm
pirate.
going to call him.
Like-
Dude, I know you're super busy and touring everywhere, but dude.
Yeah, he's kind of into the musics like me. But so KYRS Thin Air Radio presents Brick West Brewing Company Brickfest Music Festival. And that's going to be Saturday, June 7th. Free all ages at 1 p.m. And there's a whole bunch of acts. I'm not even going to try to read all these off here. But Brick West is a place that I played last fall, which for their great pumpkin something. I can't remember. I think it was Great Pumpkin Fest.
It's the Great Pumpkin, Craig McQueen.
It's a great pumpkin. But anyway, yeah, go check out that if you're, Brick West is a cool place, and they got lots of live music happening down there all the time. Let's see, we've got the Mean Tweets are going to be playing at Hunter's Bar and Grill. Let me see what this says here.
Mean tweets. I love that.
That looks like AI art. No. Yeah, so it's going to be, I guess, tomorrow, this Saturday. I don't have any information other than that. Jesse Templeton put that up, so I figured I would add it to the Northern Light Spotlight. So yeah, live music at Hunter's on Saturday night with the Mean Tweets.
Any relation to Jada?
That's her brother.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. So yeah, I already talked about the Smoky Bar in Coeur d'Alene that we're playing at on Sunday. So if you got a stogie and you want to come down, and you could be our fog machine for the evening.
There you go.
We'll just have to bring extra lights and all that. So I wanted to thank everybody that's been part of the Northern Light Spotlight for inviting more talented friends to the group. And I also, I'm excited about all the stuff coming up this summer. I'm going to start working on getting a better list of the people, or, so people can kind of plan when they're, and also for Chuck, so he kind of knows. I mean, I've always, I send him one message and then it gets lost in his sea of messages. So we kind of understand how that's going. Before we get to what we, go ahead, Chuck.
I got one I've been meaning to ask you about. It's just hey, this is for our morning show. And the other person said, thanks, I appreciate it. And I have no idea who it is. So it's a new one. New friend just got started. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
I have to say, who this? Yeah.
Who does that? Yeah, because it's just a number. You're like,
no
and
idea
that's
what
why I
this
try to make an introduction in it. So it says everybody's name, and like Chuck, you're like, okay, well that number I don't have, so that's who that is. But then you got to save it right away. If you don't, then you'll never be able to know who
that's
it is.
I'm always doing stuff. You're always doing stuff, and we never have time to just sit down and have a meeting and plan stuff out. But that's what texting is for.
Well, good news. Our guest just came in. So
Oh,
Nice.
outstanding.
awesome.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we're almost done with the Northern Light Spotlight. I've got Kettle Falls Historic Center grand reopening. That's going to be on Saturday, May 17th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The event is by Planetary Refugees, so I'm assuming they're playing. So go check that out at the Kettle Falls Historic Center at 1131 South Paul's Mission Road, Kettle Falls, Washington.
You know, I do have Planetary Radio. We had him on as a guest a while back. Got couple of their CDs, and in my car as I drive to Spokane back and forth, they've become part of my regular rotation of music I listen to. And a good, amazing band. Been around here for a very long time.
Very cool.
All right, Paul. So what have you learned about this Rendezvous in the Park down in Moscow?
Well, unfortunately, it's the same weekend as Shakespeare, which is kind of bumming me out. But this actually...
Okay, well then
really
cool.
Cool.
We don't have to say anything about it.
No, it's really, really cool.
It's a long ways away.
2 to 3 day festival. It's over in Moscow, Idaho. They have a great lineup of musicians. They have an event for kids. So when you go to the event, there's something for the kids to do. And admission, it says, is from 5 to 12. They are, make sure I'm reading this properly, under 12 admitted free to the evening concert. So it's something that would be a lot of fun to go to with your kids. They have camping, they have places to stay, they have a bike trail, they have a whole bunch of things that you can do as part of this event. It's called Rendezvous in the Park. So Rendezvous in the Park looks like the 2025 is July 17th and 18th is when the kids events are going on. And then the festival information is going on. Looks like the Friday through Sunday, so it would be 18th, 19th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. So you could still do both. You can go to the Rendezvous in the Park and then come see Shakespeare on Sunday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, really, really neat. They have a great land acknowledgement. It looks like it's actually a lot of fun. The tickets are...
Well, I really like the whole color scheme and everything. That's what really popped to me. It's like when I'm looking at, and then I see the poster and I see like the attention to detail.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, they really are.
Well, so this is when you talk about collaboration, and they collaborate with the University of Idaho. So one of the things that they have done is they have a contest at the in their art group in the University of Idaho, and then they all vote on the artist. And so this year's Rendezvous in the Park's featured artist for the 2025 festival is Jamie Provost. So she's a student there, and her poster was selected as the poster for this year.
Oh, that's how they do that.
Yeah,
That's very smart.
Yeah, and so every year, and they've shared the other posters from the other years, every year they have the winning poster that is up that you can review the previous artwork that's been voted on for the Rendezvous in the Park.
That's genius. They don't have to do their own posters.
No, it's really, really cool. That's why I was saying, unfortunately, this is the same weekend as Shakespeare, but this is really, really neat because they have stuff. They talk about their farmers market. I was saying that they have this wonderful trail. The summer on the Palouse is a beautiful time of year, and they have mountain biking, hiking, and swimming. You can go and participate in boating on the Clearwater and Snake Rivers. You can swim at the Hamilton Aquatic Center. The Moscow Farmers Market has, of course, live music, food, and crafts. Frisbee golf is there. You can golf. I mean, this actually looks really cool.
It does look really cool.
You can hike. A variety of different options for people's abilities. Idler's Rest from the University of Idaho, the Arboretum, and then, how do you say that? Kamayak Butte? Kamayak Butte?
I wonder if that's so in the Tri-Cities there's Kamayak in high school. I wonder if that's any relation to
probably.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Just south of us lies the Lewis Clark Valley, America's newest viticulture area, and there's wineries for tasting. So this actually looks cool. And then looking at the showcase of artists, really amazing. Oh, I wanted the musicians. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, it's just cool to see what other communities are doing, and these are the ideas that they have. Those are things that we can always pull from. That's kind of why I like to spotlight other things that are going outside of our just our local region.
Yeah, and we've talked about making Chewelah a destination event. That's exactly what this is. It is a destination event to go and do all of these things and then highlight on the music. So that's what we are doing with the festivals, with Shakespeare in the Park, with the Labyrinth, with the different things that we're doing. We're trying to focus and make this come to Chewelah, stay for the weekend, and do all of this amazing stuff. Eat at our local restaurants, stay at our local hotels, enjoy the festivities, and then go home.
Well, and I noticed one thing that's
Leave
different about
here.
Chewelah than say Moscow. Well, Moscow has of course there's North Idaho university there, right? So
Yeah.
the Vandals, and then right. I mean, it's really close to Pullman. It's like 5 minutes away, so right across the state border. And then
Yeah.
there's another college, so
Right.
they have a big college population. That's something that Chewelah doesn't. We kind of lose all of our college age kids because they all go off to go to school.
Right.
They're not really here. You see
Yeah.
them on like holidays. They come back and visit their family, but
Yeah.
that's just one thing that I noticed. It's a major difference.
It is a major
We
difference.
got
that's
we got
true.
Brandon joining us, and let's go Joey Carper.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Right.
Stop talking to you guys.
That's awesome, Brandon.
So-
Thank you for joining in. I'm not. I think it's might be one of Brandon's first times commenting.
See, there you go. Very good. One quick thing I wanted to mention: the Zephyr Folk Festival day
Yes.
passes for that are going to be $40 and then $60 for the weekend, and that's happening at the Zephyr Lodge on June 6th and June 7th. We had Cam Joslin in here.
Yes.
And he was talking about this. This is something that he's put together. He's the talent buyer at the Chameleon.
Yeah.
And then his friend, he's managing a young man.
Yeah,
I'm trying
the-
to remember his name right off.
The lead singer of the Bedheads.
Yeah, the lead singer of the Bedheads. That's an easy way to say
Exactly.
it.
Landon.
Landon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Landon. He was
I remembered
awesome.
a name.
Yeah, way to go.
So proud of
We
myself.
need to mark this day
I
down.
know it.
So yeah, if you're interested in that, look into Zephyr Folk Festival on the internet and get your tickets for that weekend. They got Racoma, Amelia Day, and Baby Jake as the headliners, and also the Bedheads, Small Paul, Matt Mitchell, Music Co., and a whole slew of others. So go check that out. It's a really cool venue. I
Very
just
cool.
wanted you to know. So anyway, that's about all I have
right.
for the Northern Light Spotlight. Again, if you want to get your events plugged on the Northern Light Spotlight, find our weekly post on the Facebook page and put your comment in. I know Steve Shenham made sure to put a comment in, and that's what he did exactly. He said, this
Yeah.
is a comment. So
This
look
is a
up Steve
comment.
Shenham music. He's awesome. He's got some great satire songs and some anthems. We take his satire songs and turn them into anthems.
I was going to say we'd appreciate a little more commentary than this is a comment, but coming from that's acceptable.
Well, and then I replied with reply.
Reply.
Comedians, feel free to say whatever you want. So I do have a couple other things here. If you're all done there.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yep.
We had a couple submissions here. Again, the Town and Country Days in Kettle Falls. They're accepting applications for vendors. They're going to be. I love the way they were selling the goods. And sharing information at the Town and Country Days Street Fair. The street fair is June 6th and 7th in Kettle Falls. That standard booth space is $50 for the 2-day event. To sign up for that, you can email chairman@tcdays.org. We have another one here. We have the Deer Park Eagles. They're seeking vendors for the upcoming outdoor market and craft fair summer series. The first market is May 17th, so next weekend, with subsequent events occurring the third Saturday of each month throughout August. Those vendor fees are $25 for members, $35 for non-members. So it's always good to join up with Eagles, Lions Club, and those kind of organizations. They do good work. Let's see. There are discounts if you sign up for all 4 events. For more information, you can email pr.deerparkeagles@gmail.com. Then one more, obviously, our Chewelah Summerfest. Looking for vendors. That's happening July 12th. If you're a vendor, if you're interested, it's going to be right there in the park. It's going to be a gorgeous day. We're going to have lots of great music. We got a wonderful music venue lined up.
Yeah.
A venue, event, calendar, schedule. My brain's not working.
It's going to be awesome. You remembered that one name. You remembered Landon's name, and now that's it.
I'm
You're
done
gone.
for the day.
Oh, his
Yep.
last name's Spencer, right?
Yeah, Landon Spencer. Thank you.
There we go.
My,
We have one brain between the three of us. That's
oh
awesome.
man, I forgot to breathe this morning or
I
something.
better have more coffee.
I've just
Yeah, I got to breathe my coffee.
I've done my good deed for the day.
There was one thing that I forgot to mention, that
Oh,
if
oh,
you
yeah.
are in Chewelah on Saturday, we do have karaoke down at the Oasis
Yes.
with DJ and friends. It's always a good time down at the Oasis. We do Thursday and Saturday night karaoke. So
Okay.
if you're around and you're looking for something to do on Saturday, go check it out at the Oasis.
And do you know why we missed that, Craig? Because it is not on the
Not on the calendar.
Chewelah.events calendar.
Yeah.
Uh,
Got to get it on the calendar, Craig.
if you're going around town, we're
Right.
we're getting the postcards out for everywhere. This is a collaboration between the Arts Guild or the Chewelah Creative District. The Arts Guild is on there.
The chamber's
The
on
Chamber
there.
of
The city is
Commerce,
on
the
there.
city. The city's about to be. Yeah, the city's joining up. We had a conversation with them last night. The radio station. Almost every organization
theater,
in town.
yeah.
The Ski Hill is sponsoring the calendar. This is
Kiwanis, right?
Yeah, I'm
Or
not
the
sure if
Lions Club.
the Lions Club.
Yeah.
We're working on Kiwanis. Basically, for years, everyone has been saying, why do we not have a united, universal
calendar,
community calendar? And this is also for the surrounding areas, if there's things of interest. Obviously,
we'll put it in our minutes when we have our meeting about all the stuff that we got coming on.
There you go.
Or happening.
Yeah, put this in our meeting agenda, Craig.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
I will.
Secretary,
It's a mental note.
tell the secretary to put it in our agenda. So,
Corey, can you put that in my calendar, please?
Yes, please, Corey.
We'll talk. She's like, we'll talk, darling. We'll talk.
So yeah, just a reminder, we were trying to get this out there. There are postcards everywhere around town now. Chihuila.events. Finally,
Chihuila.events.
Yeah,
Chihuila
super
has
simple.
Burning that in right now.
Yeah.
a universal calendar, and all these organizations that are partners, you can also go to their websites. When you click on calendar, their calendar will now take you to Chihuila.events. So everybody is on the same page, literally. And this is a standalone calendar. It's not one organization. This belongs to the community. So good stuff.
Yeah, very good.
You look confused, Paula.
I'm sorry. I opened something and I'm just ignore me. Okay, go to break.
We're going to ignore you, and we're going to go to break.
Looking forward to Joey Carper.
Yes.
Yep, he's out there, and we're gonna get him all tuned up and ready to go.
Yes, sir. We're gonna listen to some news. Thank our sponsors, and we'll be right back after this break with Joey Carper. Looking forward to it. Right here on KCHW 102.7, your Northern Lights Public Radio.
You're listening to KCHW 102.7, Northern Lights Public Radio.
The Public News Service Joy Newscast, May the 9th, 2025. I'm Mike Clifford. President Trump privately pressed House Speaker Mike Johnson during a phone call Wednesday to add 2 additional proposals to the massive package for his agenda. That from NBC News. They report one is to raise the tax rate on the highest earners, and the other to close the so-called carried interest loophole. That's according to GOP sources familiar with the call. NBC notes that Trump's 11th hour request add a new wrinkle to an already complicated process for GOP lawmakers as they desperately try to find enough savings for the bill, which seeks to extend his 2017 tax cuts, boost funding for immigration enforcement, and next to Indiana, where Joey Lurie reports residents now have a new way to track pollution from coal plants across the state.
The Sierra Club's new online national dashboard shows how rollbacks of federal pollution rules could increase harmful emissions from Indiana's dozen coal plants. Sierra Club Hoosier chapter director Robin Skyabos says the data highlights risks for both rural and urban communities.
You could be being impacted. Some of the worst air quality in the nation is located in southern Indiana because there's such a high concentration of super polluting coal plants.
The dashboard allows users to zoom in on specific plants and track pollutants like mercury, sulfur dioxide, and nitrous oxide. Utilities and state officials say they follow current environmental laws and that balancing energy needs and emissions limits can be complex.
Environmental groups say the dashboard also gives Hoosiers a tool to demand stronger action from state regulators and from lawmakers. And Sunday is Mother's Day, and what moms may need most is a day off. Research shows inequities persist in the amount of time moms and dads spend on childcare.
In 2023, American mothers spent on average 167% more time on primary caregiving than fathers. And the Institute for Women's Policy Research says that costs a mom nearly $17,000 per year and $450 billion nationwide in foregone income. The Institute's chief economist, Kate Bond, says the trend continues with secondary childcare, or supervising children while multitasking. Mothers spend 133% more time doing so than fathers.
That is not time you can go into an office. That is not time where you can be out of the house. And so that is time where you also still can't work for earnings. Some mothers are really constrained by their disproportionate caregiving responsibility.
Data show in Montana, mothers make 59% of what fathers make per year, a difference of nearly $25,000. The inequities are worse among Native American moms in the state, whose pay is about half the earnings of white fathers. I'm Kathleen Shannon.
And in case you haven't heard, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, now known as Pope Leo XIV, is the first pope from the U.S., that from CNN. They report he spent much of his career as a missionary in South America. This is Public News Service. A Michigan group is speaking out after a top congressional leader's comment that lawmakers will likely scrap the $7,500 federal tax credit for buying electric vehicles.
Ending the tax credit could deal a major blow to the EV market and the country's clean energy goals. Michigan automakers and suppliers have pumped more than $30 billion into the state's EV industry since 2020. Jay McCurry of Clean Fuels Michigan says her group joined several local and national nonprofits in signing a letter to the U.S. House Transportation Committee in support of the EV tax credits.
Demonstrating that it's not just industry, not just individuals, but large nonprofits and advocacy groups that really care about continuing to show support for the clean mobility transition.
Despite growing Republican support for EV tax credits, some GOP senators have introduced the Elite Vehicles Act. It would eliminate the $7,500 credit, a $4,000 credit for buying used EVs, and charging station incentives. Crystal Blair reporting.
And despite uncertainty about Medicaid funding in Congress, Tennessee is moving ahead to help improve people's health outcomes with a program for community health workers. The details from our Daniel Smith.
Tennessee's Medicaid program, TennCare, is partnering with the Tennessee Community Health Workers Association to offer an accreditation program that promotes best practices for training and supporting this workforce. Nikayla Boyd with the association says community health workers, or CHWs, link people to care and promote healthy habits.
So in addition to CHWs having individual certification, we are also accrediting the actual CHW program. So accrediting that program, that organization, that employer.
TennCare will fund grants for up to 14 organizations to complete the accreditation process.
Finally, a new mapping tool shows South Dakota is a big player on the farm conservation scene. The online feature coincides with polling that reveals most farmers want stronger funding for climate-smart practices.
In a recent survey of more than 500 farms across the country, the National Wildlife Federation says 3 out of 4 support an increase in long-term funding for the USDA's voluntary conservation programs. These initiatives incentivize farmers and ranchers to work their land in specific ways that make it more resilient to extreme weather, like prolonged droughts or widespread flooding. The Federation's Aviva Glazer says survey support was consistent across geographic areas.
The farmers not only supported this funding, but they got a lot of value out of this funding, and they cited things like soil health.
Meanwhile, NWS Map shows South Dakota farmers have enrolled more than 7 million acres in the Conservation Stewardship Program, above all other states. I'm Mike Moen reporting.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
It's 8:16.
Your KCHW morning show is made possible by donations from
Colville Toyota. Colville Toyota, located at 160 West 3rd Avenue in Colville, offers new and used vehicle sales and service. Vehicle sales is open 8:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, with a Toyota Express Maintenance Center open 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. More information on Colville Toyota's vehicle inventory and services is available at colvilletoyota.com. A small-town dealership with a big heart.
and by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Dell Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
KCHW headlines. I'm Chuck Ritchie. Since 2020, the number of work zone collisions on Washington highways has soared almost 40%. In response, the state is putting a new enforcement measure in place, cameras to catch speeding drivers. For now, the DOT is trying out one camera that will move to different locations. Workers have already noticed that when the camera is there, traffic slows down. Washington is putting a lid on rent hikes in the state. Governor Ferguson has signed a rent cap bill into law, effective immediately. Increases are linked to inflation but can't go over 10%, and landlords have to give tenants 3 months heads up before any increase. The State Rental Housing Association is considering a legal challenge, saying the rent cap will lead to higher rents, less supply, and worse quality housing. In our last story, immigrant rights groups in Washington are mobilizing to support detainees. Organizers from Spokane to Tacoma are backfilling support gaps and monitoring detainee treatment in response to increased immigration enforcement. Others provide food, clothing, and transportation when detainees are released, while still more offer hotlines and legal aid. For KCHW 102.7, I'm Chuck Ritchie.
Turn our volumes up?
Well, no.
You got to hook up the...
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the KCHW Morning Show. We were in the middle of doing some tech talk there. I think you may have heard some of our conversations over the top of the news as I was just describing, but that's okay. We are back for the second half of the morning show with myself, Chuck Ritchie. We have the ever-lovely Paula Randall, the also ever-lovely Craig McQuain, and we have our special guest this morning, Joey Carper. Good morning, Joey.
Good morning.
How you doing today?
I am up earlier than normal, but I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, that happens to us.
Yes. Did you even sleep last night? I saw your rig down at your work, so I figured you were closing the store down.
Oh, yeah, I closed up, and then I got to bed around midnight, so I got a solid 6 hours, I think.
Yeah, that's about what I usually get.
Ask for much more these days.
Yeah.
I on a good night, I'll get 3 or 4. You know?
Yeah, right. I'm so rested.
I know. I was talking yesterday with one of my kids and about how I'm not a morning person, and my kid was like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "No,
You're up all the
I'm
time.
a horrible. I'm not a morning person at all. I hate mornings." And he was like, "Dad, you get up every morning at 6 a.m. You get up early on the weekends now. You go to bed. You go to bed around midnight. You're not a morning person. Or you are a morning person now." So I'm like,
Yeah, just because I'm up in the morning doesn't mean I'm a morning person.
Doesn't mean
just
I like
it. I have responsibilities.
I love doing the show.
Yeah, right.
The worst.
This gets me up in the morning.
the worst part is waking up in the morning and there's these noises that go off every morning, and sometimes I don't understand what they mean.
Yeah, the ones that you whack and say timer, like
yeah.
skip. You know, we have a bunch of people on the radio this morning that are so excited that you are here.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
I love the
There's
support.
a whole fan club. We have Brandon Edison, who's like, "Let's go." We have Ronnie
Oh, we
Turner.
know Brandon, yeah.
We have Will, who's saying, "Come on, let's go, Joey Carper." We have Wendy Butler.
Yeah, I know Wendy, yep.
So she's like, come on, let's go, Joey.
They're so
here.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
This is awesome.
That's we have you're kind of a local celebrity.
You have some customers out there.
Right?
It feels nice. It puts a smile on my face.
He's got fans, actually. That's what I mean.
He's got fans.
So an
You
interesting story
can
for
join the
me
Joey-
is like, I was down at the bar at Fired Up Pizza. This was quite a few years ago now, probably 4 years ago. And I'm sitting there and I hear this, very deep voice talking to it's the bartender there, and he's talking to the customer that's just down the bar from me, and I hear him say, "Oh, I play music and blah, blah, blah. I haven't been able to because COVID and blah, blah." And I'm like of course me, I'm like, music, I'm like,
Yep.
So anyway, then I started a conversation with him, and it was Joey, and I learned a little bit about him. So he's from not Walla Walla, I'm sorry, Enterprise.
I was going to say where cars really do cost less.
Yeah. So, yeah, not from the penitentiary down there. No, I'm just kidding. Down from Enterprise, and his mom is actually from here originally, from Chihuahua.
Okay.
So, and she is a very talented musician herself in her own right, and a promoter and all kinds of stuff. So it's like I've actually helped her get a couple gigs up here back, since I met Joey, and it's just really cool to be able to network with people that are in a different media market than us.
Yeah.
So and so Joey does a lot of live music, but it's usually down in his home turf.
Yeah.
And so he hasn't really had many opportunities to play up here. I know he's done like some open mics and he's, played some different places around the area, but he would really like to get to know more of our, musicians up here and be able to, maybe branch out a little bit more. And he has this new release that he just put together all himself in his own studio, produced it and everything. So to me, it's just so exciting to see happening and actually to, been able to get to know him and then, just be able to listen to his album and, get to know him a little bit more. So, I'm really excited to have him here.
I will have to say, you talk about home turf. I consider Valley, Springdale, Colville, all that is home turf here.
Yeah.
Deer Park. That's
our
all
local
our home
community,
turf.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you are home, man. Welcome home.
I definitely feel home.
It's so good to see you.
I do play a lot back in, not a lot, but most of my gigs are kind of in that Northeast Oregon circuit where I grew up playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like I kind of am driving home both ways. If
that's
I'm going
fat.
back to Oregon,
That's
where my mom has a home there in Enterprise, and it's like, oh, cool, I'm driving home, and then at the end of the weekend, I'm headed back this way. I was like, I'm headed home again, and I try not to take that for granted because it's a pretty cool feeling.
Very cool.
Absolutely.
Cool.
It's weird because I talk about it quite often. I was born in the Tri-Cities, lived there till I was about 10 or so, moved to Alaska, lived there till my mid-30s. But it's weird. I go back to visit Alaska. I don't feel it. It feels weird and foreign and like an alien place. And I come to Eastern Washington, and that to me feels like home. Even when we first came back here after many years, 20 years of being gone, the first time I came back to Eastern Washington, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm back home again. So it does feel better over here. I kind of like it. So not as many mosquitoes either.
Yeah.
Not the cold. So Joey, tell us a little bit about what you got going on. I mean, you got some shows coming up. I know we're going to talk about your album here.
Well, I don't have a whole lot booked as far as like, oh, hey, here's my tour to launch an album.
Right.
This was more of a project that I just really wanted to accomplish, and I didn't have any intentions for it other than kind of just like finally completing something, actually having a concept and following through on it from start to finish and kind of finding out what I'm capable of at this point in my life, and I've spent a lot of time accumulating gear over the years, and I finally have a little 4-track home studio that I can,
Nice.
My mom let me borrow one of her mixers so I could mix down and have more tracks sent down into stereo.
I feel like we need to interrupt you right there.
Yeah.
My mom let me borrow one of her mixers.
My mom is my biggest support.
That is so cool. So your mom is a musician.
She drove it up here from Oregon.
Wow.
So that was what I was going to
That's
ask.
cool.
Your family, you come from a musical family.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you've been in music your whole life, in it, around it.
I think my first time on stage, I was 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Nice.
played
We need to get
an
a picture.
original song on. There is a picture out there somewhere.
That's awesome.
I
With
played,
your banjolele?
It's like no, this was it was on harmonica. Just like a little 45-second song that I made up with my mom, and she was playing some New Year's show solo, and brought me up on stage with her, and that
Wow.
was my first performance.
and you've been doing it ever since.
Yeah, off and on ever since, for sure.
That's incredible. And you write your own songs, your own music.
Yes.
Very cool. And I always ask because I'm not a musician. I'm not a songwriter. I'm always fascinated by different people's processes. Are you write the lyrics? Is it basically you kind of write the music, the poems, the song, the words, and then put music to it? Does it come organically?
So this project was kind of me tuning into that, trying to find how I can consistently create, and because I've been writing songs my whole life, and I've never been able to do it consistently. I've never had like I'm just going to sit down and write a song today. My mom, she can write a song every day of the week, and just like I went for a jog this morning and I
wrote a song.
Yeah. In my head. And so that's super inspiring, and it's always been like, I wish I could find that kind of, a conduit to that energy,
Right.
And so this album was kind of me on that journey. I found, I can kind of set my life up physically to support this, you know?
Yeah.
Put my notebook between my bed and my coffee cup. So I have to choose not to write every morning instead of choose to write every morning.
Yeah.
I love that.
Just like little things like that. It's like you're gonna have hurdles in your day, so make them positive, you know, like
right.
You know, and I found like there's a track on this album, Gateway is like the fastest song I've ever written. I was staying at my mom's for a weekend, and I was getting ready to head to bed, and something caught me right on the edge of like walking into the room, and I was like, I might need to just turn around and grab my guitar.
Guess I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Right.
Right. Yeah, unless you complete it, right? Because that idea was there. Yeah.
I was gonna say I made a promise. I had a band on the east side, and I made a promise one time that I'm gonna make sure that I commit to my music, right? So unfortunately, what that meant is all my ideas happen at about 1:30 in the morning, right? Right when I'm just kidding. I'm at that relaxed state. My head's on the pillow. I'm almost asleep, and then the song hits in my head, and then I'm like, okay, I promised myself I was going to commit to my music. So theoretically, I should get out of bed and record this because you know it's not going to be there the next day.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's like you've got to get up and record it, or it's gone. You know.
Well, and even if you write down the lyrics and write down the chords, like the feel.
The feel is gone.
You got to capture some soundbite of the feel because the feel is the most important part.
Exactly.
And it's the hardest one to recreate if you can't get in that mode again. You're like, oh, what was I doing with that rhythm?
Right.
Just a note for you neurotypicals out there. This is the life of an ADHD person. I'm just saying.
Oh my God. Well, no, it's just so funny because it's like, okay, and then, you know, that can only last for so long because every night I'd hit that spot and be like, no, I'm going to get some sleep. Darn it. I've got to get some sleep. Like, yeah. So it's a dangerous gift. You know, it's a gift. It's a dangerous gift. It's something like, whoa.
It's magic, you know.
Oh yeah, it is.
There's a book called Big Magic, kind of about that. You know, we don't really own those ideas.
Nope.
And
right.
They we can tune into them or let them go on to someone else. But I mean, I prefer to tune into them. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, one interesting story I have as well is that you know, since Joey and I are both musicians, of course, the conversation came up. Hey, let's get together and jam. And actually went up to his place and played some music with him. And at the time, I knew he was a drummer because that's what he was, you know, hey, yeah, I'm a drummer. And so it's like, hey, yeah, I would love to jam with the drummer. So I'm playing with the drummer. Then after we do that, he gets the acoustic guitar and he just starts singing and playing. And he just blew my mind. I was like, cool. I had no idea you had a voice like that. Where'd that come from? He's like, well, I've been kind of playing since I was 2. And, you know? So, yeah, so I'm really excited to have you on the air and play some of your music, man. I really
I'm looking at your SoundCloud page.
Oh, yeah, that's some of my older stuff.
Is it?
In fact, yeah, so Snakes and Trains, I think I released that in 2016. That was more of kind of a whimsical album. I had a collection of songs. I think there was probably 10 or 11 that I recorded in my mom's basement studio. And in fact, Snakes and Trains, there's the first line in that refers back to what we were just talking to. If it's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep, then there's something on my chest.
Yeah.
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 Very nice.
It's kind of a little reminder of like, hey, you know, if you can't sleep, there's a reason for it. So why don't you go grab your notebook?
Right.
You know?
Well, why don't we take?
I'll remember that because
Yeah. Why don't we take a little bit of time? Let's play something off of your new project.
Yeah, sure.
This is off of Axiom. Tell us what we're gonna hear.
Yeah, how about we listen to This Summer? It's a nice kind of upbeat song to get you going on a Friday morning, I guess. It's kind of a reflection on... Well, I'll just let you listen to it.
All right. So listen to it.
Talk about it afterwards.
Talk about it afterwards. Here we go. This Summer by Joey Carper. Oh, is it playing?
I hit silence.
There
we go.
There we go.
Just this summer, I stopped numbing old bummer can rest atop his pedestal. The ragged, wrung out number, once used for something sensual. Reserve the right to slumber long before he began to pray. And now to finally disencumber all this to say, I miss you. That is all. That's enough. Doesn't have to tear me up to miss you. That's enough. Doesn't have to tear me. You so casually just reach inside to share me. You don't even break the skin as if to spare me.
That's how you play harmonica.
Professionally delicate.
All right, now all the mics are back on. Sorry about that.
We're having fun in the radio station
man,
today.
It's a Friday.
You know, I was telling you, we before as the show started and we were talking back here, one of our mics, when we have a live guest in, gets shared with the computer feed. So we have two channels going into that same channel.
And I got the lucky mic.
you got the lucky mic. That's okay.
It's a harmonica reference. Come on, people. Get your mind out of the gutter.
we were joking. Your mom left a comment that they got zucked out of the comment section. So, Janice, thank you for the comment.
I'm actually looking at her website right now, Carper.com. So yeah, check out Joey's mom.
She just went on a little birthday tour, and she released a new single lately. She's got a new music video out. Yeah, go check out all her stuff. It's
well, and see,
where I get all my talent from.
So what's interesting is she was coming up to the area to visit. I'm believing the family, you know, her son and whatnot, and I was trying to get them down here to do a little duo performance, but it just didn't quite work out. Yeah, but we tried. I mean, the dialogue started. It was just sometimes they just don't. It just doesn't work out.
One of these days.
One of these days we'll get her. We'll get her in here.
Does she do her own art for the album covers too? These are neat.
That is all her own artwork. In fact, she did the artwork for both of my albums. The Snakes and Trains is her original collage art, and then she did the digital design for this album cover for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's my. I couldn't do it without her.
Oh, nice!
Well,
I love that.
And I know that
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
absolutely. And she's also very active as a promoter too.
Oh yeah. Look out for Juniper Jam this year. Every Labor Day weekend, Juniper Jam in Enterprise, Oregon. It's the sweetest little music festival in Eastern Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. So
that is a great album art. I love that. Huh.
And then, so what's I know that you got like a band that usually, what is it, Rutnut? Is that
Rutnut?
Yeah, that's right. So it's
Rutnut?
yeah. So it's about about being nuts about the rut season, about being a hunter, being a mountain man.
Yeah. It's kind of There's
like
a lot of lore behind it, I guess. But no, that's a band I've got with Jay and Elwood over in Union County, Oregon. It's right, kind of the LeGrand area.
I went to college in LeGrand.
Oh,
yeah,
on.
Yeah.
We we try to play as often as we can, but me living 5.5 hours away puts a damper on some things.
Yeah.
But, we just played AJ Corner's Brick and Anthony Lakes around Baker City a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a fun little I would call it a side project, but I mean it's my band. So
yeah.
Well, when you guys want to do a little mini tour up around the area, let us know so we can get you in our schedule
for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
Yeah, we've got this wonderful stage here in the theater, so that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've
Most
never
definitely.
been in here. I was just checking that out while I
Right?
was waiting out there. It's beautiful.
So yeah, we have the Joey Carper fan club is chiming in.
I was like, they are active.
In the comment sections, Ronnie says, "Nice cup, Joey. Nice merch."
Yeah, nice.
So that was
right?
made by his wife Amanda, one of a kind Axiom
I need to switch
merch.
back. Hold on, I got your Axiom screen up
Yeah,
there.
right.
There we go. Oh, okay, my computer is not responding. There we go. Had us on the wrong screen.
Yes, my Axiom coffee mug, one of a kind merchandise.
Look at that. Yeah,
that is cool.
Yeah. It's custom.
That is very cool. Yeah, and we got a bunch more comments.
I couldn't help but notice that your fingernails match your album too.
Now that is commitment to the brand. That is like all the way.
It is. So Wendy says he's an amazing singer. So excited for you, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Brandon, of course, loves your song. Wendy would like your new CD if it's available.
Oh, yeah. So I don't have any hard copies made.
Mhm.
I might eventually make some CDs or some vinyls or something. But it is available for digital download. You can go right to my website, joeycarper.com. You just click on the album art right there on the homepage, and it'll take you right to the shop. You can name your price for digital download, or you can listen to it for free there.
Nice.
It's also on all music platforms, Spotify, iTunes, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can get it on Bandcamp. And yeah, I appreciate anybody who wants to listen.
Any producers, promoters out there listening, go and check it out.
Yep.
Send them a message.
You heard him here first.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And you bring up, you can listen to it for free, and it's really cool that you do that and have that available. But at the same time, if you like it, the music takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work went into this, and it's great that it's out there. But also, if you have a couple extra bucks, or 100, so support your artists. It's important. It's important, and to keep the music going. If you like what you hear, it's really important to throw a couple bucks in the tip jar.
Right. I think as musicians, we all have that dream of music being able to pay the bills. But I think the biggest thing is kind of having that freedom of like, okay, this doesn't have to make me money.
Right.
I can do this for me. I don't have to put this pressure of like, oh, if this doesn't go good and I don't make money, how am I going to live?
Right.
Being able to have that, privilege of this being kind of just a personal endeavor has been freeing, I guess. I should say.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like what I was saying before we came in. It's like I'm trying to set it up to where it's like all the stuff that I generate through my music can kind of just go into a coffer that can be used for retirement or whatever later, right?
Or another album.
Or another album. Yeah, right. Because it costs money to record.
Exactly.
It does. If the more people you get involved, the more it costs. I mean,
Speaking of getting people involved, before I forget, I wanted to thank Bart Budwig for mastering this for me.
Nice.
He knocked that out in like a weekend. It was super short notice.
Wow.
And, he's a great musician based out of Eastern Oregon as well.
Very cool.
Very cool.
I was gonna say, you're talking about socking that money away for retirement or something. You mean sock it away for the next guitar?
Well, that's where all my retirement money goes. It goes into my instruments, right? Yeah, it's investment in my future.
Like, you're not going to retire, Craig.
Well, that's why I'm a musician. I'm just going to play until I'm 6 feet under, right? I mean, it's just like, still be like, hey, what's that tune I hear walking through the cemetery?
Right?
Just pipe the speaker up.
That's awesome. It's in your blood. It's in your blood. Too fun.
Wow. That gives me some very cool, but also at the same time morbid thoughts of
yeah, I know, but we're all just here for a speck of time, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I can just see walking through the cemetery, and there's Craig, and we have to set up like a neat acoustic thing in there, so that there's like this ghostly Craig playing on the.
Have a hologram on my gravestone.
I mean, that would be really funny. I mean, that would be funny.
I'm just wondering what the acoustics would be of using like a coffin as a speaker box piped up through an underground tunnel system up through the headstone.
It'd sound like a cajon,
Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Dig me today.
Oh, we are
Heard
wired
here first.
today.
I bet you probably have some pretty good acoustics,
Right? Well, I want to hear you live. You're going to sing something for us
I
now,
can
right?
play it for you guys.
Yeah. Tell us.
right.
Oh yeah, grab your guitar.
Yeah, we'll kind of help move the mics for you. He's also an accomplished engineer, as you can hear from his recording, so he kind of understands how this stuff works.
Nice.
I don't know what I've accomplished yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. I'll probably get you a little more mic here.
Let's see. I might debut a new song here.
Ooh. Yeah, tell us a little bit about what we're gonna hear.
So, this whole project has kind of been, like I was saying before, connecting to that creative flow, that ability to not necessarily write on demand, but be able to actually capture those ideas that come to me. That feeling of the muse. Oh, we're sagging here. All right, technical difficulties.
There we go. That's a lot better.
All right, there we go.
Having some mic stand issues.
It's
All right.
alive.
Myself some space here.
Mm-hmm.
But so this one's kind of about my my experience, kind of connecting to that muse energy, and what it feels like when you're overcome with that urge. Like, I need to get something out. What is it? You have to identify what it is, you know, and figure out how to put language to it and sound, and you know, it's yeah, so I kind of like personified that energy and wrote a song about it. So
Perfect. Okay.
I'll probably bring that down a little bit there. Let's see here. That coffee's got me playing fast here. Let me slow it down a little bit. She said your face card is lethal, but my body's still warm with the fire behind her. Call you in from the storm with your head in the trenches. From ducking the swarm, you came in through the door, drenched in rain from the corner store, and you don't know how. But she was dressed like an angel, felt inclined to bow, overcome, you were grateful. She helped off your jacket, pulled off your boots, and said, let's dry you off, as she pulled you in two. From the sweetness of honey to the boldest of brine, you were hooked on the taste, consumption of time. It was too late to call at 9:15, but you hoped she'd just walk in by the time you closed your eyes. And you don't know why she always waits till you're so tired to turn on the lights, electrify your wires. She enters the room, her energy consumable. She's everything you wanted, but it's business as usual. Been a while, but you knew her style. You could show up anytime. So you waved your rights and dimmed the lights. A second glass for wine. Will the moment be perpetual? Were you even on her schedule? You don't feel a thing but individual. And she don't need a ring to run her ritual. You know of her nectar, she's teased at your thirst, but you won't know better till the night that you move first.
That was beautiful.
Thank you very much.
I love that, man.
You notice how animated he is?
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I got some great pictures.
Yeah.
Man. Some of them are like, yeah, you can keep them. They're just great though. Just so much it's so much personality in them. It's like,
we talked a little bit about using you've got this presence and your control of your tone with your guitar and using the mic and back. Really, I mean, I can tell you've
made it easy for you to mix them, huh?
Really easy to mix. You kind of did it yourself. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thanks,
you can
Mom.
Yeah, I can imagine seeing you on stage, and I bet you have one heck of a stage presence, man.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I haven't been on the front of the stage as much as I've been on the back. I kind of made a living for a while. Well, not much of a living, as a musician, but of being a drummer for a lot of bands.
Okay.
I've gone on a few tours as a drummer with Corey Quinn, who's based out of Texas now.
Oh wow.
We had a group called the Lowdown Whiskey Rebels. We did a couple winter tours there. I did a couple tours with my old band Bitterroot, and it's interesting being the guy with your back to the wall and you've got everything in front of you, and then stepping forward, and it's like, okay, now stage, but if you've got more musicians on stage with you, you're sandwiched between your audience and your team.
Right. Yeah.
And it's kind of like sitting in the front row of a classroom versus sitting at the back.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And
do you ever feel exposed? I know when I started singing without my band, all of a sudden I had stage fright, in a way that I'd never had before. That all of a sudden I felt very exposed, and I was like, oh, this is new. This is interesting that people are seeing me now, and it's not the group. It's not like you said, your pals are there. You're part of the group, and here you are demonstrating your art. Do you feel that vulnerability? Do you feel that like, oh, wait a minute?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely do, but I love that feeling.
Oh,
I kind of
good.
thrive on. I think we all need to kind of hang out there more often.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that's kind of and I've noticed that with me. It's like, yeah, I'm hooked to it.
Yeah.
And it's like I get those butterflies if it's a new venue, but if I know kind of how things are gonna go and I know where I'm gonna be, it's like I still get excited about playing, but it's not the same as like a new space,
right?
Where you don't really understand how the reflection is going to be off the wall. You know what I mean? You're not going to know how it sounds in there until you're actually playing,
Right.
And with the audience too. You don't know how they're going to react to your music.
Oh, yeah.
It's always different. But when you've been in a place a few times and had a few reps there, it's like I kind of have an idea how it's going to go. So you got like this extra boost to just confidence getting up there. Or I've seen some people they haven't played in a place before and they're totally confident in other places, but then all of a sudden they're in around musicians they're not familiar with, and then all of a sudden they're like a bull in a china shop. They can't get it together.
Mm-hmm.
They can't tune their instrument. They can't. I mean, it's just like
I don't know about you, but I've had those days too.
I have. Yeah, I know from experience.
Yeah.
I'm like, feels like everybody's watching me, and I can't get that. The mandolin
the
for me is
groove,
the thing that just kills me because I'm like, I can hear it. Why can't I
need
tune
this
it?
many strings?
Well, and it's like
Exactly.
well, and it's like my ears. I'm good at tuning by ear, and I use the digital tuner that I put on my guitar, and that thing I can never get it right. Like it says it's right, and then I hear it, I'm like, that's not right. So I always have to tweak it a little bit, get it to where it sounds good in my ear. 'Cause that's more important. Because if it's always sounds like a honky tonk piano, it's never going to get any better than that.
I've always
Which is
wondered-
great for some songs, but I'm just saying that
Yeah. I always wondered, sometimes it's concerning me. I'm not a musician, but I do spend a lot of time on stages, speaking and that kind of thing. And I don't get stage fright. I never have since I was a kid, doing plays, elementary school plays in the school cafeteria. I never got stage fright. And, am I a sociopath? Is there...
The universe is listening right now, and you're going to go and get on stage like Chihuila's Got Talent, and you're going to see the heads of the audience staring up at you, and all of a sudden you're going to be like, is this stage fright? Is that what
why are you guys all naked? Like,
why am I naked?
Yeah, why am I naked?
Did I forget my pants?
Put your clothes on. No, actually, that's not true. The one time I got stage fright so bad I had to turn around and walk off the stage was when I was on stage playing the mandolin at the the picking competition that used to happen here.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'd only been taking lessons for a few months. I didn't really know what I was doing. I've had mandolins for years, just kind of picking at them, watching YouTube videos, but never considered myself a mandolin player. Started taking lessons with Gene from what's the bluegrass band they had to play last year at Summerfest? Oh my goodness, I can't remember.
Pick it out of his brain. Take
pick it out of my
his
brain. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't recall.
We
You
don't
booked
care.
him though, Chuck.
Yeah.
You should remember.
I know. My friend Jean, and
Yeah.
and she was giving me lessons. She was my next door neighbor, and then COVID happened. I stopped, but yeah, she's like, "Hey, I signed you up for this picking competition," and I'm like, "Okay." I know like 3 songs total, and those I don't know very well. And I got on stage and I played like the same verse like 4 times badly. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try the next song. And then I couldn't do that at all. And I'm like, all right, guys.
I'm done.
Deuces,
Love you.
done.
Bye.
Yeah.
And I walked off stage and just like my whole body was just numb and get the wah-wahs,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, that was a mistake. But yeah. I was expecting it to be a bunch of amateurs, like kids and stuff kind of picking. And I was surrounded by like the most amazing, wonderfully talented, seasoned musicians I'd ever heard. And it's like, one of these things does not belong here, and it was me. Yeah.
No, there's always space for new people. But I will have to say, it's something that's humbling in music and any art that you do, right?
Mhm.
You have to get over that competition.
Oh,
There
yeah.
will always be somebody better.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Always.
And so many people have so many unique sounds and so many unique looks and so many different combinations of what they provide that it's just part of the growth of being an artist is just accepting the fact, hey, I have my own look and my own sound and my own space.
Right,
and-
everybody has their own fingerprints,
it's
right? And
okay,
the same
yeah.
thing with your voice and,
Yeah.
and the way, like even down to your hands.
Yeah.
Like the way you play guitar and the way your hands play
Yeah.
the strings and the way they resonate is going to be different. Like even if I played your guitar, I couldn't make it sound like the way you make it
I
sound.
couldn't make it sound like you either.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. We have a little bit of time. Do we have time for one more song?
Yeah, really quick though, we have some more comments here.
Yeah.
Ken says, good morning, and that's a new song, 6 Feet Under.
Oh, that's what we were talking about, the cemetery with
Oh,
Craig.
yes. Okay. I
So
was
yes,
wondering.
yes, I
was
was
like,
going to say,
what?
yes, Ken, that is a new song.
I love it.
Now it's a competition. Who's going to come up with it first? Joey, Craig, or me? Are you on?
Wendy
6
chiming
feet
in
under.
again.
All right.
Your mom gives you 3 hearts.
Oh.
Aw. Corey loves the deep poetic lyrics rather. I can't even speak today.
Have another sip of coffee. Chuck.
And your mom says that you were the drummer in her band, the Alibis, while you were still in high school.
Yeah, I was, I think, 14 when I started playing with that band. So it was kind of interesting going and playing chaperoned into local bars. And then you see your junior high and high school friends' parents getting drunk at the bar. And then
Right,
you
right.
gotta go to school the next day and be like, oh, yeah, your mom and your dad.
Right, you're
Well,
like,
with me, it was
the-
like my
I've got all
teachers.
the
My
stuff,
teachers
yeah.
up at the local resort. Yeah,
Yeah.
like all listening to my parents play music, and my brother getting into the bar because he was the drummer for them sometimes, and like same.
yeah.
There's a lot of parallels between Joey and I, like growing up and being around music.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know my stepson would play in bars when he was in high school, and we had to always, chaperone him and accompany him, and
Yeah.
it's good stuff though. All right, so tell us about what we're gonna hear.
This one is called Gateway. I think it's probably my favorite off of the A-side stuff on this release. I kind of separated this album into 2 sides. We have asides and besides, because I just can't avoid to play on words.
A side, B side.
and,
It just keeps on getting deeper.
So there's very many layers to this project if you really want to dig deep. But on the surface, it's there's one side that's more kind of acoustic stuff, and then I've got a lot more distorted. In fact, the B-side comes with a little warning track for it as well.
I heard that. Yeah, I was like, "This is awesome."
A warning track. I want to hear. Now I have
Well,
to get
you'll
the
have to go to
album.
my website.
Yeah,
and
see, I was like, now I gotta go.
Okay, before you
joeycarper.com.
slam into the wall of my music experience, here's a little warning. This might not be suitable for all ears
Oh, I
and
love
all
it.
eardrums.
Is it all ears or all ages?
All ages, yeah.
But yeah, this one's called Gateway, and this is that song that kind of came out in about, I think it was less than an hour. I had it from start to finish, and I was like, whoa, where'd this come
Nice.
from? You know?
Nice.
Little 3-chord wonder.
Getting tired of saying stuff like I miss you. Sending signal fires and seeing all my issues. Could leave it all alone and build myself a home and blast off into the ether. But I'll wait to open that gateway till I fill up every empty page with love. With love. I'm alive, but I can't be everything, not all at once, without hemorrhaging or falling in love in the wrong place, filling a cup with a bad taste. But I'll wait to open that gateway till I fill up every empty page with love. With love, I'll wait to open that gateway till I fill up every empty page with love. With love. I'm not the type to sink in the ocean. I'm not the type to even own a boat. I'm getting kind of friendly with the notion that I can float. But I'll wait to open that gateway till I fill up every empty page with love. With love. I'll wait to open that gateway till I fill up every empty page with love. With love.
Outstanding.
Oh, thanks.
Wow.
I love that I can't be everything all at once. I love that. Really neat.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Are you taking your notes over there today, Paula?
No, you know what? Sometimes the lyrics just like hit you in the brain and they hit you in the heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, oh yes, that so resonates. Yeah, you can't be everything all at once, and everything is tied into love, right? Love is the motivation for everything we do. If we want to do something, we go, and just having that that reminder, that beautiful reminder in the song. It's just, yeah, I didn't have to take any notes. It just hit me here, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
When I read a
thanks for sharing that
biography about John Lennon, and that was one thing that really sunk into me, like just learning about the way he approached music and everything. He's like, once I figured out that if I just injected love into my songs, that made all the difference in the world. Kind of, and I mean, I'm paraphrasing it, but that's kind of
all
what
you need.
Yeah, exactly. See, there you go.
Right, and I just want to remind you that he just compared you to John Lennon.
Oh,
so
right.
Just saying.
Right.
I'd be like, I'll take that. I'll take that. Very, very cool. What a gift. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
today.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, and Doug says this is a great way to start his day.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great way to start mine, too.
Yeah, yeah. Craig's dad, Doug.
Great dad.
Yeah, Dirt Road Doug.
Love him, love him. What did we
Or
call
Daddy Brat, like
Daddy
I call
Brat.
him.
We called Doug something earlier. What was it? Doug.
I don't think we can say that on the radio.
No, it was a good. Maybe.
Oh, Salty Doug?
I'm
Salty
joking.
Doug. That's
Salty
right.
Doug.
Salty
Yeah,
Doug.
your casting call, Doug McQueen.
Yes,
You're
I
needed
want
in
you,
the Tempest.
Yes, I need you in the Tempest, Doug. I'll call you. I'll call you.
So does that,
call
mean
ya.
does that mean he's no longer Dirt Road Doug? He's Salty Doug now?
Salty
Salty
Doug,
Doug.
yeah.
Salty Dirt Road
That's
Doug.
for his Yacht Rock show that he's going to be doing.
The salty part comes in the winter when they have to melt the ice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you guys. All right.
Outstanding. And Ronnie Turner, of course, pops in and says, "Let's go!"
Right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
So you've talked about a few instruments you played. I know we talked a little bit before we went on the air. The banjolin. We've talked about the drums. You play the guitar. What all instruments do you play?
Well, let's see. So on this album, I did the drums, guitar, bass, some keys and synth and stuff like that. I did have one featured guitar part from my cousin Aaron Skoke on the last track on the album When the Beast Comes Out to Play. One day I handed him my guitar while he was over in my shed, and I was like, hey, can you shred some lead to this and let me see what it sounds like? Because he's a way better lead player than I am.
Oh yeah.
And he let me keep the track on there, so that's the one feature I have on the whole album is my cousin Aaron.
Awesome.
So that was kind of cool. But yeah, my first songwriting instrument, other than the harmonica, when I was 2.
Your great harmonica career
was the banjolin, strung like a mandolin, but made like a banjo. So it has like a pot with a head on it, and then it's strung in the size of a mandolin.
I have to look that up. Will I
I
find
played
it?
saxophone in junior high, alto sax. I was in a marimba band back in grade school. I'll play anything I can get my hands on.
Did you find as a kid, is it something that you just kind of picked up, or?
Yeah. I was pulling the pots and the pans out of the cupboards. I got my first little Mickey Mouse drum set at a yard sale when I was probably 6 or 7 years old. And then I came home from a music festival that my mom and I played at when I was probably 8. I came home and my dad had bought me a Tama Rockstar custom drum set, and I've been playing that kit ever since. That's my first and only drum set, and you take care of an instrument, it lasts you a long time. So
I bet family reunions at your place are a lot of fun. Right? We need to become honorary members of his family.
We used to write a new song for the family reunion every year. Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. Have like a family competition right there.
And that's what I love about musical families. Like one time I had this small kid's guitar, and I was going to gift it to a friend whose kid was getting into music and playing guitar, and I was like, oh, here he's a younger kid, and I'm like, here, there's this kid's guitar, and he's like, no, he's playing a real guitar.
Right, yeah.
like we're not going to start him off with something and have him go, no, start him with the right equipment. So.
Oh, how fun.
So I can appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. So do you have I know we just heard a song from you. But I want to hear more. Are you willing? Do you want?
Yeah, I can do one more for you.
So,
you know what? I just realized we're out of time.
That's what I was saying. That's why I'm like.
Well, nice little teaser.
I've been having so much fun with this show.
I know.
He wanted to keep going.
I thought we still had 30 minutes left. Wow.
Well, if you want to hear more, you can go to joeycarper.com.
There you go.
And all my music's there. You can get Axiom, my latest release, through the store, or you can click on the Snakes and Train album cover, my mom's beautiful artwork there, and that'll take you to my SoundCloud where you can listen to my older stuff. And I appreciate everybody's support.
And join the Joey Carper fan club.
Yeah,
yeah. Sounds like it's hopping over there.
Right?
I was going to say, now I know your fans are so excited. They're like, yes! So now I'm on the train. I'm with you.
Well, Joey, we're going to ask you to take us out of the show if you can. But first, you can stay tuned right here tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. for the best classic rock and more with Old Man Mark, playing some of the best psychedelic rock B-sides. It just stuff, good radio with that guy.
He's a good radio guy.
He really is. 8 to 10 p.m.
He's always telling me songs that I need to listen to. And then I immediately put it in my Spotify or whatever to look it up so I can
Oh, yeah.
Because he hears something, he'll hear me play something and then he's like, you got to hear this song.
Hear this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a great musical mind.
Go from Tom Waits to Deep Purple, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Some deep cuts with
Talk about
Mark.
Salty. Deeps.
Right?
Yeah.
8 to 10 p.m., we are trapped in the psychedelic era with The Hermit. Then from 10 to 11, we're going to stick around with The Hermit for Days of Confusion. I want you all to have a great weekend out there. It might get a little rain over the weekend, but today it's going to be a gorgeous day for the farmers market. Hope to see everyone out tomorrow for auditions for Chuya's Got Talent and The Tempest. So we're going to have Joey Carper tell us what he's about to play for us, and go ahead and take us right on out of the show.
This one's called I Am Becoming. I am becoming a little rough around the edges, like a dog that's passed around despite the loyalty pledges. I am becoming a little stronger by the day, like a broken bone given time to heal the proper way. I am becoming a little more strung out on the line, and I
initially intended when I swore that I'd be fine. I am becoming a little more aware of all the power in this vessel, all the pressure it can bear. A little more, a little more, just a little more, oh, a little more. I am becoming a little closer to the fire, and I know this kind of heat, it doesn't always spell a pyre. But I am becoming the captain of this ship. I've read the charts and stormed the decks, no longer a passenger in this. A little more, a little more, just a little more. Oh, a little more. I am becoming what I am becoming.
Joey Carper, everybody. Thank you for tuning in right here on KCHW 102.7, your Northern Lights Public Radio.